The next morning, they headed to the Entrepreneurs Association office. The Secretary General, the Executive Chairman, and Yuan Lixting were already there. The Exec Chairman would sign the contract with Yuan Yang. Yuan Lixting's face was unreadable. He already knew everything without anyone telling him. X-Bank had transferred the funds. Once the contract was signed, payment could be made immediately. Too late for anyone, including Yuan Lixting, to stop it. When all signatures were done, Yuan Yang lifted his eyes. Yuan Lixting lifted his too. They looked at each other for one cold second, then he turned away. Outside, Yuan Yang and Qingpei exchanged a look and matching victorious smiles. If the credit union can get approval within a year or two, Qingpei sighed. My company won't have to worry about cash flow. We'll push hard. The association won't drop the ball. It'll get approved faster than that. That'd be best. Qingpei glanced up at the bright sun, finally relaxed. In the car, Yuan Yang pulled out a folder. Here. What is it? Qingpei asked. Just look. He did, and froze. A share transfer contract. Yuan Yang was transferring all his credit union shares to him. What is this? Qingpei asked, stunned. It was meant for you since the beginning. Yuan Yang looked straight at him. I know you hate dealing with my dad. You never even get to speak in front of him. It pisses you off, right? With this, you're the largest shareholder of the credit union. Maybe it'll help you feel better facing him. Qingpei's fingers trembled. I don't need this. I'm not competing with your father. Even if I had leverage, it wouldn't change anything between us. I just want you to be able to talk back to him. Yuan Yang squeezed his hand. Qingpei sighed. Yuan Yang, you still don't get it. This isn't about winning or losing. Yuan Yang dropped his gaze. After a long moment, he whispered, I hoped it'd make you angrier at him. Angry enough to forgive him someday. Qingpei looked at him, heart aching. Between father and son, Yuan Yang was the one hurting the most. He cupped Yuan Yang's jaw and kissed him. Your dad is your dad. You're you. I don't need this. Yuan Yang stared at him, then smiled faintly. Take it. It was yours from the start. Consider it my bride price. I lived off you back then and never gave you anything decent. Everything I have is yours. Just give me you. Qingpei laughed. You're sharper now. No matter how you phrase it, it's still yours. Learned it from you. They cuddled in the car for a while, then Yuan Yang forced Qingpei to sign. Qingpei hesitated, but signed anyway. If they were one unit now, his and mine didn't matter anymore. Just as they were about to drive home, Yuan Yang's phone rang. He saw the caller ID and frowned. Dad? Qingpei said nothing. After a long conversation, Yuan Yang hung up and exhaled shakily. What did he say? Qingpei asked quietly. Yuan Yang squeezed his hand. He wants me to bring you over. Qingpei frowned a little. Back where? Your place? Yeah. Yuan Yang leaned back in his chair like he was doing algebra in his head, brows scrunched. And what's that supposed to mean? No clue. My dad's whole personality is basically one giant plot twist. That triggered something. Qingpei suddenly remembered Yang Yuan's phone call. The man said Yuan Yang refused to come home unless he brought him along. But now, Yang Yuan was the one telling Yuan Yang to bring him home. Which meant what exactly? His heartbeat picked up. Could it be Yang Yuan finally caved? He barely dared think about it. That man had traumatized him enough to last a lifetime. He exhaled softly. So, are you going back? Yuan Yang casually played with Qingpei's long fingers. Depends on you. You want to go? We go. You don't want to go? We go home and warm the bed instead. Qingpei considered that. You tell me. Analyze it. Why is your dad summoning us? Yuan Yang narrowed his eyes and smirked like he already owned the answer. He wants to meet his son-in-law. Qingpei raised the brow. You sound awfully sure. I told you, until the day I could walk in with you, I wasn't stepping foot in that house. He planted a loud kiss on him, wearing that smug, I won life expression. Well, looks like today's that day. Qingpei laughed. Well, if you put it like that, I guess I don't get a vote. We kinda have to go, huh? Yuan Yang squeezed his palm, voice low and teasing. You gotta meet the in-laws sooner or later. Come with me. I know my dad treated you like crap, but you're mine. You're not going to hide from him forever. You want to be mad? Be mad at me. But forgive him, yeah? Qingpei smiled lightly. Nothing to forgive. I get why he reacted the way he did. If I had a son and he suddenly liked dudes, I'd probably malfunction too. And he's your dad, so let's just go see him. Yuan Yang looked straight into his eyes, something soft flashing there. He wrapped his arms around Gu Qingpei like an oversized puppy. Don't worry, no one gets to mess with you again, not even my old man. Qingpei patted his back, half helpless, half unsure. They drove over to Yuan Yang's family home. Gu Qingpei had been here a few times years ago, back when he was still the promising subordinate Yang Yuan appreciated, showing up as a polished young guest. Now he was walking in as the man who'd straight up stolen the boss's son. Yeah, complicated didn't even begin to cover it. He didn't know exactly what awaited him, but he wasn't worried about young Yuan humiliating him anymore. He stole his precious son. In a way, he'd already won. As soon as the car rolled into the yard, Yuan Yang shoved his hands into his pockets and didn't move right away. He looked up at the familiar villa, expression shifting, something flickering across his face. This is where he grew up, his home, and he hadn't stepped inside for over 2 years, even though he'd driven past it countless times. He'd left fueled with pure stubborn pride, and he swore with his whole dramatic chest that unless he could bring Gu Qingpei home openly, he wasn't coming back. No sneaking around, no shame. Gu Qingpei would walk in as his partner, full stop. Gu Qingpei also looked silently at the house, calm as a still pond. Even young Jing couldn't guess what he was thinking. Yuan Yang slung an arm around his shoulders. Come on, with me. Gu Qingpei smiled that polite, cultured smile of his. Okay. Young Yuan and Wu Jinglin sat on opposite ends of the sofa, staring straight at them like they were watching a hostage negotiation. Wu Jinglin spoke first. Sit. Yuan Yang pulled Gu Qingpei down beside him, still holding his arm. Gu Qingpei lowered his head to adjust his glasses, classic move to hide discomfort. The four-way tension was so thick, someone could slice it and serve it as dessert. Young Yuan finally said, "Congratulations, you actually managed to get the money." Yuan Yang said calmly, "He helped me." Gu Qingpei lifted his head slightly and gave the couple the faintest, cool glance, collected, composed, zero embarrassment. Young Yuan continued, "With those shares, we're officially tied together now. Funny, isn't it? First time in 2 years you and I haven't sabotaged each other." Yuan Yang's voice stayed steady, "And it won't happen again. This project needs all of us cooperating." "Did you figure that out yourself, or did Gu Qingpei brainwash you into it?" Yuan Yang looked him dead in the eye. "He came back. That's all I ever needed. I'm not fighting you anymore." Young Yuan's mouth twitched, like he was holding something down. He spoke low. "Yuan Yang, putting everything aside, do you ever feel guilty toward your parents?"
Yuan Yang's face changed. Then, before anyone could stop him, he dropped to his knees, a solid thunk on the floor. Gu Qingpei's fists clenched instantly, knuckles white, but he didn't move. Wu Jinglan turned her face away, eyes going red. Yuan Yang's voice came out rough. "Dad, Mom, yeah, I'm sorry, I am. But you messed up first. If you hadn't pulled that stunt back then, we wouldn't have wasted those 2 years. And guess what? We still didn't break up. Not then, not now, not ever." Zheng Yuan sucked in a deep breath, shoulders dropping. "Honestly, 2 years ago, seeing the state you were in, I regretted it already. I thought, if time apart still can't cut you too often, maybe I'd stop meddling." Yuan Yang grabbed Gu Qingpei's hand so hard, Gu Qingpei almost hissed. Gu Qingpei squeezed back, strangely calm. Zheng Yuan's eyes shifted to him. "When you two first got together, I objected. Not just because you're a man, but because I didn't believe you cared for him. With your talent and, let's be honest, your scheming ability, even now, Yuan Yang might not outplay you. If you wanted to toy with him, it'd be child's play." Gu Qingpei opened his mouth and shut it again. "But this time," Zheng Yuan continued, "you were willing to put your entire fortune on the line for him. That did change my view." Yuan Yang sighed. "That's all I've got to say. And I'm not making you stay for dinner. This is my stance. But you have to come home. Mom's been worried sick these 2 years." Yuan Yang glanced at his mother, guilt written all over him. Wu Jinglan held back her tears and patted his shoulder. "Get up." He stood, Gu Qingpei rising with him. No one spoke. When resentment rots for too long, thawing it doesn't feel like warmth. It feels like silence, like everyone forgot how to talk. Time would have to do the repair work from here. Yuan Yang looked at his parents. I'll come home for dinner this Saturday. Zheng Yuan nodded, waving them off. He looked tired, years older than before. They turned to leave. Gu Qingpei? Zheng Yuan's voice stopped him. Gu Qingpei turned, gaze steady. You walked in here and didn't say a single word. Do you have anything you want to say? Gu Qingpei asked back. Does Mr. Zhang have anything he wants to say? I want to hear yours first. Gu Qingpei thought for a moment. Then I have two things. First, I'll take good care of him. Second, I accept your apology. Zhang Yuan's lips trembled. He and Gu Qingpei held each other's eyes for a long second. Good, good. They stepped out of the house, got into the car. Silence followed them like a ghost. Then, out of nowhere, Yuan Yang jerked the wheel, pulled over, and stopped dead. Gu Qingpei turned to him. Yuan Yang's chest was rising too fast, eyes looking wrecked. Gu Qingpei gently pulled his head into his arms. Hey, it's a good start. Be happy about it. Yuan Yang buried his face against his neck, voice hoarse. I know. Thank you for giving my dad a way out. Gu Qingpei's voice softened. Please, your dad basically signed you over to me today. After that, I could forgive him for anything. Yuan Yang wrapped his arms around his waist, lips brushing his neck, leaving warm, wet kisses like he was claiming territory. Come home with me every week, please. Sure, why not? And I'll go with you to your parents. Gu Qingpei chuckled. I go home maybe once a month or two. Did you tell them I'm your boyfriend? No. Haven't exactly updated them yet. Then we're going back in a few days. They should officially meet me. They met you years ago. How's that official? It's different, Yuan Yang said, kissing up to the edge of his lips. This time, I'm proposing. Gu Qingpei snorted. Proposing what? Don't talk nonsense. Not nonsense. I'm announcing it. I want everyone in your world to know we're together, that you're taken. Don't do that. Why does the entire universe need to know? Fine, maybe not the universe, but you better know. You're taken, sold, off the market. Gu Qingpei teased. Oh, are I? You literally have property of Yuan Yang stamped on your forehead. Gu Qingpei slapped his cheek lightly and laughed out loud. You haven't matured at all. Still a child. Yuan Yang grabbed his chin and shut him up with a kiss. Deep, hungry, swallowing his laughter, his breath, his everything.